Welcome to the rocket scientists that review LEGO classic space sets from the time period 1978 to 1987. Today we will review the set 6825 Cosmic Comet. The set was released in 1985 and came with 40 bricks. Included in the set was one minifigure, the classic white spaceman as seen here. The empty weight of the craft I measured to be just 23 grams or 0.8 ounces without the spaceman. The length of the craft I measured to be 115 millimeters or 4.53 inches. The height I measured to be 42 millimeters or 1.65 inches. And finally, I measured the wingspan to be 125 millimeters or 4.92 inches. The design? Yeah, this set was released in 85 and the design was kind of classic for that time period. You had this type of blue color, which was slightly different from the earlier space sets. You had also more color details than in the first series of sets. You had a lot of trans color pieces like these red and yellow bricks as in here. These are actually rubber hoses going here. You have a pair of wings, which to me indicates that this is enabled to fly in some atmosphere. You have a pointy antenna section here on the nose part of the craft with a small dish or at the front. So this could be a detector or weapon if you like. You also have this gray camera piece. This is typically from in the 80s. Video cameras were kind of big. They were resting on part of your shoulder and you had to look into a viewer like this. Or it could be a gun if you like, if you're more into war stuff. The pilot is sitting here and he's holding two joysticks or control sticks for maneuvering the craft. On the bottom part, these cylinder bricks and these pieces, they act as an undercarriage for the craft when on the ground. You also have a pair of navigation lights on the wings, and you have a pair of dishes on the mast pieces here. For some reasons I don't know. It could be some sensors again, I don't know. The design, I think it's pretty cool. It has nice colors and a lot of details. It has some sort of undercarriage there, which I like, but you have no logo, you know, no space, classic space logo, which I think is a little disappointing. All in all, I will give this a score of 5 for the design. It's kind of robust also. It's can handle some rough handling without falling apart, which is good. This piece I don't like that much, sitting like this. It seems a little too easy solution here, and there is some friction here when you move it also. Playability. Well, as mentioned, the design and construction of it, the craft is fairly robust. Even though it has all these details, it can handle some rough playing. I don't like the loose camera as mentioned, so and you're also missing other tools for the astronauts to be used. So all not bad, so I give it a score of 4 on playability. Nostalgic Force, well, I never had the set, neither do I remember it, but so I cannot give it other than 1 in score, 1 of 6. but it's nice still then to have it as in my collection nowadays. So all in all, in toy score, we are then up to 10 for the Cosmic Comet, a funny name. Let's then talk about the design engineering for the Cosmic Comet craft. Is this something that we could see being built? Well, no. And if you have followed my reviews for some time, you will have guessed that my answer would be no to that. First of all, you have a craft that is designed to operate in atmospheric conditions. You have wings. They are kind of pointing in the wrong direction, these wings. They will be unstable. It could work like this, but then you have to have automatic ailerons to autocorrect for the aerodynamic balance of the craft. There is no tail structure here, so lateral maneuverability is not easily to understand how that would be provided in aerodynamic terms. It could fly in atmosphere, but you couldn't fly too fast because you would be subjected to drag, air resistance. So you could, and the astronaut there, he's sitting very exposed in this seating position. A lot of air or of the atmosphere gas will collide with this poor guy, and that will generate a force. So he will be subjected to quite some air loads depending on how fast he flies. The faster he flies, the more load it will be, and also depending on the density in the atmosphere. So, but okay, I will not go into too much detail. It's yeah, a little too exposed there. And what are these things for? Well, it could be some sort of a detector, but having delicate things on a boom like this and you're landing, you don't have much clearance here to the ground. If you land on a pad like this, it's maybe okay, but it's still close. It's not much movement before you start to collide this in. So you need more clearance to the ground with a larger set of undercarriage. And what are the purpose of these rubber hoses? Hard to say when they go from the lights here and to the rocket motors. See no logical use of that, and sitting like this surrounding the astronaut. Maybe cool for a young boy or girl to look at this, but in practical terms I don't see any logic having it like this. As mentioned many times, there is not much volume here to store propellant for propulsion, so this would have a very short range. This would be not a craft that you fly to from the surface and into space with. It would be close to the surface. Yeah, I think I will stop there. It's many other things I would talk about actually, but I think I stopped there. So in respect to design engineering, I just decided to give this a score of 2. It's not a very practical design for real use. So all in all, in total score then, we are up to 12 for the Cosmic Comet. Let's have a look on the instructions. 6825. Nice picture there of the Cosmic Comet craft. Let's try to look through it. We have the white astronaut there, and we start assembling the wings and front part of the craft, and follow a step-by-step build here using several of these mast pieces, as I call it, and building up the spacecraft structure there on step 7. Next page you have a sub-assembly of the rocket propulsion arrangement of 4 nozzles there. So there are 3 steps to building that, and then you can install assembly on the rear part here of the craft, and you finalize the build in step 9, where you install the pilot himself. Included in the instruction was this picture for an alternative build. Immediately kind of cool looking design with this shape. It's immediately seeing this, I start thinking on towards Star Wars spacecraft of some sort, but yeah, a little interesting layout on this one. And you have antenna in trans red color going over the head of the astronaut there, and you have 2 of the joysticks there for maneuvering like that. So that's all for now, and if you have any comments, please do not hesitate to provide them, and if you like my reviews, then please consider subscribing to my channel. That's all for now. Bye bye.